back here for Curator's Corner at the NRA National Sporting Arms Museum with my good friend Jim Supica. He's the director of all the NRA Firearms Museums. I don't know how many there are, Jim. I can't keep up with you, man. But this is the new one, just opened up here. We're actually here on opening day, August 2nd, 2013, here in Springfield, Missouri, at the Bass Pro store number 1, the mothership here. Yeah, we've built this incredible place along with Johnny Morris and the Bass Pro people. So we started last week with our overview here on Sportsman, part 1, the hallway over there. And I wanted to move back here just to talk a little more about just the beautiful layout and design of this place, and also what you're going to find in here. So let's start with the displays a little bit.
Well, you know, we have come through the timeline of American sporting arms, covering 4 centuries of hunting guns in America, and we've moved into what we call the Second Amendment Gallery. Now, that's kind of a catch-all for a number of different exhibits. Certainly the emphasis is sporting and hunting arms, but there are all types of firearms here. We're in front of a couple of jewel cases with beautiful Holland & Holland double rifles, beautiful. 600 Nitro Express, 700 Nitro Express, 2 of the finest guns ever made in the history of the world. Exceptional engraving, true masterpieces by Philippe Griffney, one of the greatest engravers that ever lived. And behind us unfolds a number of different individual galleries of firearms. I'm especially proud of what we've got on the right side here. The Remington Factory Collection, firearms, original firearms and original art from the Remington Factory. It's never been seen outside of the Remington Factory at Ilion, New York.
And you've been talking about that. I don't want to, it's so hard to pick with the crown jewel, but this is one of the major big parts of this collection is the Remington Factory Collection. Tell a little bit of how'd that come about?
Well, it's a museum unto itself. Very literally, this is the Remington Factory exhibit. Follows from the very, very early guns of Remington, goes through prototypes, milestone guns. First of, we've got what we think is the very first Remington Model 870.
Which is huge.
We've got the 10 millionth Remington Model 870 on exhibit, beautifully engraved.
If that doesn't tell a story,
nothing does. I mean, that shows you the scope of what we're looking at here. But you've got that, and then we continue on up the staircase.
Which I love, the staircase.
It's beautiful. You got the big bear at the top of it. That kind of sets the theme for the entire second floor. The primary focus up there is the Theodore Roosevelt Conservation Room. And the story we're trying to tell here is the story of hunting, conservation, and freedom, those rich American traditions and the role that firearms has played in those. This is our conservation component. We tell it from a historical perspective, from Theodore Roosevelt, who was really the founder of the modern conservation movement. So we've got a room dedicated to him up there. We also have a wall of elegant guns from the 1860 to 1920 time period, and a fun gallery that everybody always loves, Hollywood guns. We've got guns that actors like Tom Selleck, Charlton Heston, John Wayne, Clint Eastwood actually used in the great Western classics on television and certainly in the movies. So a very popular exhibit upstairs. And in the Theodore Roosevelt Gallery, in addition to the conservation story, we've got the actual guns that belong to Theodore Roosevelt, his son, Theodore Roosevelt Jr. By the way, that's a father-son duo of Congressional Medal of Honor recipients.
Wow.
We've got the guns of General Leonard Wood, who was Roosevelt's commander in the Rough Riders, Henry Cabot Lodge, who was probably his closest political ally. So it's history, it's conservation, and it's spectacular arms on exhibit here, and open every day of the week, free of admission.
And I tell you what, we mentioned in earlier segments, and also we were here for our grand opening show for Cam & Company. The partnership is unparalleled. I watched some of it firsthand being here a couple days before it opened, and then how you're handing it off. It's your folks from the museum, it's the folks from Bass Pro, just seamlessly, working together to make this thing happen. It's truly amazing.
The Bass Pro folks are consummate pros. The creativity, the skill they put into the construction of this museum is remarkable. The day-to-day management of this museum will receive the same attention. We will be very active. The NRA Museum staff will be very active here in Springfield. In addition to our home museum back in Fairfax, Virginia. So it's a great partnership.
It's another great chapter. We've gone through so much with you guys at NRA, the National Firearms Museum, there, and seen the growth and evolution with opening the Peterson Gallery and other things. And now this happening, it's just, it's truly inspiring, Jim, and so exciting to see how committed the NRA is to our firearms heritage, because this is how, you know, we learn so much about our heritage through protecting and sort of giving a display to our past.
It does speak very strongly, very obviously, to NRA's commitment to preserving Americans' firearm history and communicating that to this generation and to future generations down the road.
And those future generations are all around here.
They're
it's
walking
great to
through
see,
here,
sir.
and it's wonderful to see them.
All right, Jim, we're going to continue on. More coming up on the next Curator's Corner next week here on Sportsman Channel Cam & Company. Jim Supica, John Popp out here at the new NRA National Sporting Arms Museum here in Springfield, Missouri. We'll be back with more next week.